First, I'm going to introduce Octavia Spencer. Octavia is a critically acclaimed actress. She starred in many, many movies. I can't even name them all. A Time to Kill, Being John Malkovich, Legally Blonde 2, Spider-Man, Pretty Ugly People, Coach Carter, 7 Pounds, The Soloist, coming up with Jamie Foxx. I mean, just an amazing actress. She actually inspired the role of Minnie in the book. She does the reading and the audio version of the book, and she is here tonight. She drove down from LA so that she could accompany Kathryn and actually do the reading of Minnie tonight. So this is a real treat for all of you. And Kathryn, what can I say about her? I mean, look how young and sweet she is, and she's already, as of today, a New York Times best-selling author, numbered 14 on the list and climbing quickly. She lives in the South, and her personal experiences has inspired this book. She did an amazing job with the 3 voices. We're thrilled to have her here tonight and to hear more of her story. So please help me welcome Kathryn Stockett and Octavia Spencer.
Hello.
Okay.
Am I on?
I don't know.
Well, I have you look at my pack.
Okay. Well, while they're doing that, I just want to give a very sincere thank you to everybody at the bookstore at Warwick's, and thank you, Susan and Rob and Gay, for having us. What an amazing group of people you have here. And I have to say, this speaks so well for your community, because I find that the best places on earth are the ones that have a bookstore where the people are eager to support the store and the town. So thank you for having me. So before we start the reading, let me tell you, for those of you who have not read The Help, a little bit about the story. The Help is set in Jackson, Mississippi in 1963, and it is the story of a young white woman named Skeeter. The good, oh God, I'm going to blast him. Have a steel rod in my leg. Is that good? Okay, I'm nervous now.
I'm going to wait over. Ooh.
Okay, how are we now? Can you hear me? Okay, I'll try to keep it up. I'm soft-spoken to begin with. So, anyway, so Skeeter is a young white woman who grows up in Jackson, Mississippi. And after she graduates from Ole Miss, she moves back home with her parents, and she wants to be a writer. But things are very different in her hometown than when she left for college. All of her friends are married now. They all have husbands and houses, and some of them are already on their 3rd child. And at age 23, they already have, working full-time in their homes, black maids. In essence, the children that they once were when Skeeter left for college have grown up to become the employers. As Skeeter watches her friends, she starts to notice little things, small injustices, like the fact that the Help has to keep a separate plate, a separate cup, a separate fork, in a separate place in the white kitchens. And bigger things, like the fact that the Help's not even paid minimum wage, which at the time wasn't much to speak of anyway. But for the first time in Skeeter's life, it starts to bother her. So she gets an idea. And her idea is to write in secret a tell-all book about what it's really like to work for the white women of Jackson, Mississippi. She joins forces with several of the maids in town, many of whom work for her very best friends. And it's an incredibly risky project. We take it for granted, but in 1963, it was against the law for blacks and whites to even meet and discuss racially charged issues. Not to mention, if they were discovered, it would incur the wrath of the white women for whom these maids worked. One of the maids that Skeeter works with on the project is named Aileen, and Aileen is very gentle, very old-fashioned and kind, and she was loosely inspired by my own maid growing up named Dimitri. The other maid that Skeeter works with is named Minnie. And Minnie is trouble. She is a loaded gun. And Minnie was inspired by the mannerisms and gestures of my friend Octavia Spencer. Octavia is an actress in LA, and as Susan told you, she has done so much in her career, but she is one of the most talented and really versatile actresses I've ever seen. I am proud and honored to introduce Octavia Spencer.
Well, thank you, Kathryn. Let me see if maybe not. I'll stay here.
Okay.
Does that hurt your shot? If I
No, we got it.
we got it?
Okay.
Okay. I'll do this.
We'll get some interference if we stand together.
I know. Well, first of all, Jan has great taste in books. I have to give you guys a little bit of backstory. I had only met Kathryn. She's Kitty to me now, Kitty. I had only met Kathryn. We have a mutual friend, and the first time I met her, we were all on vacation together, and I asked her, well, what do you do? And she said, well, I'm doing research on a novel I'm writing. And I said, great. And about a year and a half passed, and I ran into her again, and she said, I'm writing my novel. And I said, great. And about 2 years passed, and we ran into each other again at a party, and she said, I finished my novel. And I said, great. And I want you to read it. And I said, great. And then she followed it up with, and I based one of the lead characters on you. And I said, great. And I was really, really nervous because I really hadn't had that much interaction with her. And I'm an avid reader. And if you guys have read the book, you know Minnie kind of is a straight shooter, and she says what's on her mind, and that probably is one of the things I think she noticed about me. And so I was thinking, I'm going to hate this book, and I don't know how to tell this woman I'm going to hate her book. And when I got the manuscript, it was rainy Friday in LA, and need I say more? And I had a bachelorette party to attend. And I was really upset because the manuscript showed up and it was really, really thick. And I didn't want to, read it, but said, I'm going to go ahead and read it. And that way I'll start it. And if I talk to her next week, I can say, well, I started your book, and I wasn't lying because I really would have started it. And I sat down, it was about 5 o'clock, and I read the first chapter. And about 15 minutes had passed. And when I sat down to read it, I really was approaching it from, I'm not going to like it. And I read that first chapter, and it was amazing. And I thought, well, okay, this is really good. And so the next time I looked up, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And I missed the bachelorette party, so I was a little mad at her then because I loved the book. So that is how I came to know and love The Help. And that's Miss Kathryn Stockett.